And can the party rescue JamJam this week on the Hapless Heroes?
And maybe there's a pig too.
It's all right. We got our minds fingered before. It's fine. We're good.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave, and I will be your host, your dungeon master, possibly your torturer for this epised.
I really like how you started that off, Dave. I really don't appreciate the tone that you're setting.
Welcome back, baby!
Oh, and it feels so good. Okay, so we're going to start, in the fantastic, energizing, and thoroughly original way that I start all of my episodes by introducing my cast, starting on my right with Francesco as Percival Flodhest.
Okay, so I definitely still have this hat, but did we just hallucinate that? We couldn't have, right? I have the hat.
Skipping a seat to the right, we have Lou as Lev Zangief.
Slavic sizzling.
Slavic sizzling.
Love that.
To his right, we have Mike as Brunner Brublitzbohr.
I'm ready for an adventure. I don't have any money, but casinos sound fun.
To his right, we have Nicole as Glorp Glup Glup.
Hello, this is my normal plasmoid voice.
Nicole is definitely not recovering from an illness. Glorp always sounded like that, and it at least will for this week and next week.
We've always been at war with Nicole's vocal cords. War is peace or something. I don't know. But to her right, we have Seb as Chumdaloom.
I'm telling you guys, there's like a fucking rat or something in the wires. I can't find it, but I'm telling you it's there.
And going back to that seat we skipped, returning to the table after a slight absence is John as JamJam.
Whoop, whoop.
JamJam is not here yet.
That is correct. We'll get to JamJam. Just find when I need, find the spot to tell you what's been going on with you since you've been away. We'll do a little cutaway after we get things a little settled here. So, the crew. You dreamed that you may or may not have been in a circus. Honestly, I'd like to believe the circus was real, at least in our hearts. Maybe in our arteries, possibly in the rocks embedded in our plasmoids along the way. But regardless of that, we got through it. March had an epic freak out when his skills failed him at the worst possible times and just had himself a little breakdown and excused himself from the party indefinitely. But, I'm sure he'll be back. No idea why we would have contrived an absence for him.
I mean, he could have at least had a temper tantrum and stayed on the ship, the jerk.
I mean, he possibly could have.
No, it's okay. I'm going to just send him some some maybe guilt trippy text messages as this adventure goes on.
That's awful. Oh, that's awful. I love it. Okay. There's a map here. Good. We have maps.
Oh,
It's gonna be
shit.
fun. Well, I have drawing at least that I'm willing to share with the class. But anyway, as your ship lurches coming out of its hyperspace drive into the presence of this gigantic ship floating through the astral sea. And note, this is in the astral sea. This is not in anybody's planet, anybody's wild space, anybody's anything.
We're just out in the sea.
Yes. This place, the Gabbiani, well, let's have people make history checks to see what you know.
Yeah, we did some of this before. I know Brew knows a thing or two about this place at this point. But I wonder what new information
By pure
Dave has
luck,
to
I think
share.
that was.
I got a 12.
12.
First of all, never had a chance to actually recall anything. Oh, that's not terrible. Just a flat 17.
All right.
No modifiers.
17 gets us some stuff, though. But yeah, the Gabbiani has been around as long as anybody can remember, really. It's one of those things where it's not quite clear when it started, just that it sort of predates just about everybody's memory. Everyone's all just been, it's kind of always been here, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that the only name I ever threw out for Brew was that, it was founded, who knows when, by Enrico Gabbiani. That's its namesake.
Yeah.
At least that's the knowledge that he was able to glean.
Enrico!
They are a neutral enclave entirely to themselves and have fought very hard to keep it that way, fighting off, the occasional poke from, the Federation or the Imperium, several very significant attempts from Astral Tech's Gaming Commission to gain control over this ship that have gone spectacularly badly for them. But as independent and iconic as this ship is, it never extends its reach beyond its borders, beyond the end of its rather sizable air envelope.
How long have we been traveling, I guess, between Braima, I think it was, and then, where we've found the Gabbiani? I remember it was like maybe a week or two out based on when I was looking at it on the map, but you said it had been about a couple weeks?
Yeah, I would say it's been about another week since then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, about, 7 days, give or take. I don't know. How do you guys keep time on the ship during?
That is we probably have some sort of the equivalent
Like a
of what
calendar or something?
like an atomic clock or some sort of synchronized calendar would be.
Yeah.
If you, just as an aside, I could just say it right now because this is a bit of exposition from what I've written. Out in the sea, there are fleets of what we call the data brokers, who that's sort of their job is to they maintain these fleets that help actually act as a relay to ensure that GalNet services and things like that are reachable from any settled systems. There's and those ships kind of rotate in and out based on we don't want to have one ship in the sea for far too long, but they tend to have multiple relay fleets throughout the sea that are broadcasting or extending the sort of GalNet network, among other things. They are also a neutral, third, entity within the our, minor factions.
Good. Chance to make more friends.
So, ferociously independent, but otherwise, just it is Space Vegas. It is a floating den of entertainment and debauchery. And people come here and they spend money. And some people just straight up live here if they have the means. And you'd see why as you cut out of hyperspace and you have to make a sharp right to not quite hit the ship. There's still thousands of feet, a couple of miles around the ship of air pocket. But this ship is itself easily just shy of a mile long.
Damn.
And it looks kind of if you took the USS Enterprise, and I don't mean Star Trek, I mean the aircraft carrier, and stuck it in space, cleared the entire deck off the top, scaled it up about 10 times, dropped a city on, dropped an entire city on the back half.
I was going to ask if the city was just out there, right? Or if it was enclosed. So it's just open.
Well, so you have that at the back of the ship, and right around it, you can see what looks like a large kind of translucent red wheel right next to it. And one on the other side of the ship on the other side, big riverboat wheels that go, they're probably, this is probably maybe about 1,500, 2,000 feet in diameter. It's gigantic on either side. And this is at the aft end of the ship. towards the middle, you can see what looks like a whole amusement park in the middle. And towards the front of the deck is a perfectly spherical blue half dome that has several strings of blinking lights out in space that are pointing towards it. You're getting the indication that would be docking. Now, the bottom of the ship definitely looks very much like the bottom half of the aircraft carrier, a very ship hull looking thing. But there's a clear section at the bottom of the ship that is probably, half a mile, maybe 3/8 of a mile long, 400 or 500 feet high of glass. And upside down, so with its bottom towards the middle of the ship, is a luxurious castle. Enclosed inside the glass. And a very sizable forecourt grounds and possibly a church at the far end. Towards the
are we talking like fantasy type castle, like stone, like masonry?
Actually, well, my internal mental inspiration was Chateau Fontainebleau, so like a French chateau, like big Versailles-like castle, big long wings and going around a large courtyard, the kind of horseshoe stairs right at the end, and a balcony up above where somebody could give addresses.
Totally. Yeah, so it's almost like a state house, even.
Yes. Yeah, it is like a large English manor house or a, moderate-sized French castle.
Interesting.
So we've been fucking around in the jungle, and this is where JamJam's been this whole time. Jesus.
And its entire castle grounds enclosed inside the bottom. And I've got kind of a drawing. I'm going to share it now to this because I've described it out.
I am initiating landing procedure, whatever that is, while we're doing this.
Yeah, I'll send a request out to Doc as well if that's necessary.
That is.
Yep. Yeah, the docking protocols are very well established here.
There's probably lanes of traffic going in and out.
There are. You can see those blinking sets of lights, and when you get in touch with control, this is the control for the starboard side of the ship. There's a whole separate departure control over on port side where all the departures are leaving and the arrivals are coming in here on starboard. So that's that entire side there is ships coming in and going parallel from the back to the front of the ship along that starboard, along that right side. And then as you get towards the that half dome at the bow there, right on top of the deck, just kind of swoops down and you just sort of are parked hovering just outside the dome, tethered to the ground. So maybe, like a couple of feet off the surface. There's just a little bit of hovering there. You could put your, you could put your landing gear down, put your door down, and disembark.
Fuck yeah! Getting pretty good at this too. Didn't have to roll for it. Nothing. This is great. Hop out of the co-pilot chair. All right, let's go break some gnome legs. Grabs ray gun, walks towards the exit.
Jim, let's
right to the violence with you every time.
Let's not rush to violence. Let's maybe just I don't know, play it cool.
I'm playing it real cool. I don't know what you mean. Grabs grenade belt.
So True, maybe we need to adjust what our definition of cool is. Can we go lower? Where we're at, I feel like right now you're at a 7.
Call me short.
No, we're just looking for more like a 2, I think.
Right. We are saying the only thing short about you is your fuse for violence, okay? Hey. And it is time. I am agreeing with Percy.
I resent that.
It is time to relax, tiny bit, please.
Listen, I know guys like Tink, okay? He wouldn't have called us unless he had some ulterior motive that's in his benefit. He doesn't give a shit about JamJam. So right now our only lead is that motherfucker. And I don't know if you guys know a way to get him to tell us the truth. So if you want to go and ask him real nice, you can try that. I'm just letting you know that if I get a hint, a whiff of bullshit, I am going to break that gnome's face so fast. And Don't worry about this time. I won't scream and cry.
See, look, you are getting flustered. Do you need uppies or grape? What is going on right now?
Sorry. Yeah, actually, that'd be really good. We just got out of Astral Sea. I'm a little hungry.
No, we're not out of Astral Sea. We're still in it.
Oh, we still are we still in we're not in its own envelope?
Yes, it is not in a wild
the
space.
Gabbiani is not in a wild space system. We are just out here.
I guess they don't have to waste money on restaurants and shit then.
No, but when we
Don't
did,
have to,
but Percy forgot to eat before we all took off from, because we had just done that performance and then we went immediately back into the Astral Sea. So it was like we have Percy's kind of just in a perpetual state of like peckish right now.
That's a good point.
This is something I kind of need to sort out in my head here too, because
would the Gabbiani almost have its own simulated real space?
That's what I was thinking. With those
I could see that. I would not put it past them. I would not put it past them.
Yeah, it's yes-ish. There's just enough going on that you can enjoy things like food, for example.
So like maybe there's
how could you have the source of hedonism for the entire cluster,
available,
for the entire
whether
universe,
it's in the system or in the sea? That's
food?
true. This is very true.
Yes.
And drink. So I would assume maybe there's some sort of magical aura that sort of helps essentially metaphysically digest what you have to help you continue to enjoy these things, so that it's not the actual food and drink themselves are enchanted and don't actually nourish you. They're just delicious.
Yeah. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
So we're paying a license for food, is what you're saying?
Essentially, yeah.
License for food and drink.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, I will find out exactly how one gets admission to a place like this.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. So right now, you guys are still docked. We haven't quite disembarked the ship or looked.
We have already disembarked. We have landed already. I will say
you have landed.
I'm gonna just look at Lev as we're landing. Then I'll be like, okay, Percival's gonna start like inhaling through his big nostrils. He's like, I smell pretzels.
Oh, god damn it! And I start running back to the commissary, where I imagine there's smoke maybe starting to come out a little bit, And I
the rest of you
run when you hear a sizzle of as I grab the handle maybe, fuck, and then a clang of sheets.
Oh god.
So the rest of you are standing in what is essentially the parking lot, a large field of ships between you and this domed bubble right at the bow of the ship. Behind you is the amusement park area, but it doesn't look like there's any way to that from here. It's all traffic is going into the dome.
Gotcha.
It is night here.
Beautiful.
There are lights from overhead, but otherwise you can just see out into the starry expanse of space. And that is one thing that you've probably heard before. It's always night here.
Interesting. So all those hues of blue and purple that are in the backdrop kind of just fade to more of a traditional starry night.
Yeah, but they're there. It's just the most awesome nebulas and auroras
I'm expecting a lot of magic and other shit is going on this fucking vessel. All right, just based on the how powerful they seem to be.
Yeah, very fancy.
As this is literally a city ship.
Yeah.
It's Vegas in space. Space Vegas.
I'm going to turn to the group. So I guess our first priority should be locating JamJam and figuring out all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and call Tink, unless anyone objects or would like to do it themselves. Pulls out phone.
We're just going to call him now?
I mean, do you want to go and have it? JamJam might be in trouble.
No, I'm
telling you, I got a bad feeling about this.
All right, fine. Yeah, just call him.
As the phone is ringing,
but we don't have we don't have Tink's number. We only have JamJam's number.
I have Tink's number from when he contacted us.
No, he answered JamJam's phone.
Oh yeah, I'm calling JamJam's phone.
Ring. The scene cuts. The ringing at the doorbell to your room, JamJam, wakes you up in the morning. About 2 weeks ago, you were upgraded from your from your accommodations at the Dio Resort at the in the Valdor, which is the back of the ship, the Golden Valley. Just a huge like valley in between these enormous skyscraper casino buildings. The Dio is one of them, along with, let's see, what are our other ones here? The Cormorant, the Strangiato, and BFG Grand. About 2 weeks ago, though, you were given a room upgrade. You know, you've been a bit of a big spender on the ship, and they get comped sometimes, so you didn't really think all that much of it. Took you through several floors and places on the ship. You got a little disoriented along the way, but your accommodations were beyond any imagining you could possibly have. This room has got to be 50 by 50, ceilings 20 feet high, ornate gold everywhere. Tapestries and draped curtains and red velvet couches and the gigantic 4-poster bed that it is easily 6 posters worth of bed. Like they have upgraded it.
So many posters.
Yeah. And you are on the grounds of this chateau. You're not the only guest here. There are many other who seem to be extremely well-to-do people, many of them appearing to be very, very old. It was here that you developed your link with your pig, being able to ride it around on the grounds.
Ah, yes.
As there are ample grounds outside, big, vast green fields of very well-manicured grass,
We just back up.
hedge mazes, fountains.
Pig.
Pig.
Okay. Just want to make sure I heard correctly. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Of course.
We'll get to that.
Of course, you
We'll
said
get to
pig.
that. The ring of your doorbell wakes you up, JamJam.
JamJam slowly slides out of bed. Is still just wearing his pretty much banana hammock
Speedo.
Wonderful. What condition are you leaving your room in, by the way?
I was gonna
it's a
say, what does your
disaster.
suite look like, dude?
It's a disaster. There's bottles of alcohol, pizza boxes, half-eaten pretzels, clothes everywhere.
Empty candy wrappers.
Yeah, empty candy wrappers that are all fruit flavored.
Right, because the booze does nothing for him, right? It's the
Yeah.
it's sugar that essentially fucks him up.
It appears that JamJam has been on a very long, very crazy, very debaucherous bender.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the quick math. Like a 2-month-long bender.
It's probably about a month and a half that they've been here, actually hanging out here, and it looks like a disaster area in here.
Yep. It was probably about you were so drunk that it was probably 3 days before you noticed that there are days here. There is a day-night cycle. It is light and it is dark throughout the day when you would expect to be awake and sleeping. So it's a morning. And so you go to answer the door, I assume.
Yeah, he kind of waddles over, slips over some bottles, falls into a pile of clothes, gets back up, dusts himself off, opens the door.
Bonjour. A very handsome, uptight, butler-looking human with
That sounded like he was speaking Elvish there.
dark mustache, dark hair, very well kept, clean shaven, like that, just absolutely perfect suit, and holding a tray of breakfast. What kind of breakfast would you be ordering, by the way?
Definitely the fishiest.
The fishiest breakfast. I mean, we're talking like a couple of filleted trout, like steaming, what looks like, some tuna or something, a couple of sushi rolls, just like the fish platter.
And one bagel.
And a bagel. Your breakfast, monsieur. Now, will you be allowing room service to finally check your room today?
JamJam just says, no, thank you. And takes the food and shuts the door.
Bam! Right in the guy's face.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, is this one of those suites that like has like those environment matching or like, comfort type like settings? Like does JamJam just have a fucking beach like somewhere in this suite? Or is this
it is
more of a
it does
traditional
very
suite?
it stays very to theme,
Okay,
but there is a hot tub in the corner.
of course there is. Okay.
It's not like you climb in above. It's set into the floor. So floor level, like, and down.
That's kind of
Yeah,
filthy
it's
right
no-
now.
it's nothing but water all over the whole area surrounding that hot tub. It has been
Yeah.
used aggressively.
Yeah. It just a thick film of like used sunscreen on top of the wall.
Yeah, and there's probably it's probably even weird colors because he probably spilled booze in there at some point. Too,
There
right?
are
'Cause you gotta
there are
imagine, like,
bottles. Yeah.
if room service
There-
hasn't been here in a while, then that water, especially if it's floor level, is probably fucking filthy.
There are bottles in it, and there seems to be a pizza box dissolving slowly in it. It's probably
Wow.
going to clog up the filter at some point.
Probably has already.
Yeah, that's just standing water at this point, dude.
This has been your life for the last few weeks. Partying on, you were at the DO and partying and hitting the casino during the day and being a big spender kind of whale sort of person, and now you're here. There's still a little gaming area in the chateau where sometimes some of the older gentlemen will, be playing poker or something, but it's way more sedate and the betting limits are way higher. But other than that, you have access to the full castle grounds. Fields, any food or drink you want to eat, just about any, activity you could do in a castle, you can do here.
Yeah, can we also address the pig now? Is the pig also in the room? You have a
Yes, I imagine. Well, tell us about the pig.
So JamJam just as he settles down, he's eating his whole breakfast. It's delicious. He decides that he's going to go out for the day, and he just claps his little flippers together and goes, "Thunderclap!" And out of a pile of dirty laundry, you hear some squealing and some snorting, and a little teacup pig in full battle dress. Like kind of nuzzles its way out of the underclothing. JamJam opens the door and rides this little pig into the property.
Okay, can we just get proportions then? Because you said teacup pig, and so JamJam is what, like 2.5, 3 feet tall, rough, give or take?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So how big is the pig?
Much littler than that.
like small, so you look like, even though you are small, you look like a giant compared to this tiny armored pig that is carrying you places.
Yeah. Let me see. How big are actual teacup pigs?
They actually don't really exist. Actual teacup pigs are like not.
Teacup
they're just
pigs aren't a real thing. They're like tiny pot-bellied pigs. They're 150 to 200 pounds typically.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so
little
it's not
guy.
it's not like it's that much smaller, but it's a little guy.
It is about 1.5 feet shorter than me.
Okay.
So it's about the same size as me?
It's about the same size as a Jew.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah.
Love that for you, bud. Love that for you.
But
John
like
did share with me
rounder,
a few
I'd
ways he wanted to
assume.
torture
Significantly
Sebastian.
rounder.
Great.
Amazing.
Yeah. Terrassing around the property on this teacup pig that
Armored teacup pig.
armored teacup pig. It's appropriate size. You look a little unwieldy on top of it. It's maybe you're like, half a size too big for it, but the way it handles.
I need someone to draw
Just-
this.
Tearing up the grass.
Squealing like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely blasting through, destroying shrubs. Just did a straight line through the hedge maze one day. For some reason, it's always put back pristine perfect in the morning, every morning.
Yep. For those who are not aware, this is JamJam's death squealer.
Yeah, you get a Yokimon fucking for free. The fuck?
It is it is a Dowar like species or like racial like a feat. Like he took this as for his level up. No ability score, no nothing, just war pig.
Yep. And I can use Find Steed without spending a spell slot, and
that's what you did. You said you clapped your fins and said Thunderclap. Is that its name? Does it have a collar?
Yes. Victor von Thunderclap is
Victor von Thunderclap. Holy shit!
Okay, that's way better than Ham Ham.
That is incredible.
You guys can call him whatever you want.
We were all trying to guess, and Ham Ham was the prevailing theory. I guess we were way off.
I feel like the rest of it is just a lot in the mouth, so I'm just gonna call him Ham Ham.
Yeah, that's right. We can all be happy here.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess JamJam just rides off into the fucking sunrise on his cool pig.
We're just establishing JamJam's life of continued debauchery here at the
we were
chateau.
So worried about
he
you,
hasn't
dude.
even bothered to learn.
He seems like he is in no distress at all. Is having way too much fun.
Yeah, as long as you don't ask any questions, everything's great.
Yeah.
So then that evening would be when his phone would ring?
Well, his phone would ring, but he doesn't have his phone.
Oh,
We've established that he doesn't have his phone.
Tearing
JamJam,
ass.
do you know that you don't have your phone?
No, actually, he hasn't even thought about his phone in days.
That's it. Yes. Perfect. I love it. Okay. Good. And
we cut back to the present.
Yeah, we cut back to the ringing of the phone and the dialing out. What's a good Tink voice here?
It's just like I talked like
Is he
I
just
talked
like
this? Yeah, it's just gnome voice.
Just talking like this? Yeah. So hey, Tink here.
Tink?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, my favorite gnome. How you doing, bud?
Been better, been worse.
Yeah. You know when you called us like 2 weeks ago or something?
No, we called him.
Oh yeah, well we called you. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you, Percy.
Yeah, you didn't even call me. You called JamJam. I just happened to have his phone because asshole just fucking left it here in his trashed room at the Dio.
That's a lot to process. Hold on. Anyway, you remember when you told us to come here? Well, we're here.
Oh shit.
He specifically told us not to come here.
Yeah. So you're here. I was not prepared for this, but give me.
You just hear like things being rummaged through. It sounds like an entire cabinet just tips over.
Glass
like
breaks.
Some glasses smash.
Shit. I got you on speakerphone for a second.
Yeah, we could tell.
Oh shit.
You and the liquor bottles.
Okay. So. Shit. Here it is.
We just want to find JamJam, if we're being honest. Like, you are a formality to that.
Yeah, thank you. I feel really honored. So, tell Customs you're here to visit, shit.
Customs?
Yes, Customs.
He's gonna
We're an
turn
independent
back.
city ship.
Gonna turn back and say really loudly, yeah, Customs. So anything that we particularly have on the ship that shouldn't be going through Customs should probably be hidden somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I was definitely.
I feel that should go without saying.
He starts like signaling.
Why are we saying it on the phone?
To everyone around him that the freezer. He's just pointing at the freezer.
We see at this moment like a tiny or like an oversized but still tiny green head like poke over Glorp's shoulder and just go.
Did anyone just see that? I swear that thing's been following me. What the fuck is that? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we telling them, Customs? What are we telling Customs again?
Yeah, you're here to see.
Start signaling someone to take notes.
Like he's just flipping through papers.
Percival is under the understanding that nothing we have aboard the ship shouldn't be here. We're insured.
Pretty
now.
sure the entire ether rig is illegal.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You don't let me near that shit, Choom. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
That's true. So I'm gonna, after seeing everyone looking at me confused.
Yeah, Choom, what are you insinuating? What?
He's gonna smack himself in the middle of the forehead. He's gonna jump from the chair to Percy's shoulder, hand Percy the phone in an aggressive manner, and then book it to the engine room.
Oh, okay. I guess. Hello?
All right. The guy you're gonna see, his name is Adrian.
Adrian.
It's like Adrian. Yeah, it's like Adrian.
Is
but
that
Adrian.
like Adri-Ann, or is it just all one word?
No, the A towards the end is capitalized, like Adrian.
Okay,
it's all one word.
It's all okay.
Yeah.
Any
Where does
other?
he stay?
Yeah. Can you give us maybe a general idea of like a location that you or JamJam might be, or is there anything else we need to like worry about on our way to
Listen,
you?
just say that. Listen. Go see. Tell me you're here to see Adrian. He's in room 25123 at the Cormorant.
Ah, fuck! Crash sound.
Percival pulls out his phone in his other hand and like puts it out in his like little notes app. Okay, and anything else? Is there anything else we have to worry about? Is there like, are we gonna run into any trouble, or is everything pretty chill?
Find him. No, just get there. Rendezvous with that person. I will contact you when I get this mess cleaned up.
And then he hangs up.
Okay, good talk. Go team, I guess.
Yeah.
He did not give a fuck that people changed in the middle of the conversation.
And I'm just holding Choom's phone.
Oh yeah, I'm rummaging. Quick DM question: would I be able to fit the fucking thing in my bag of holding?
What? I mean, is it more than 500 pounds?
No, because I can carry it.
Wait, which thing is this?
So we have the ether modification, which inherent in itself isn't illegal, but the actual thing that produces the ether that fuels it uses phlogiston, and if we remember correctly, phlogiston is illegal to have.
Or just, something that's
just really hot.
Just a hot item.
Right. So I don't want them to have it, but let me give you the dimensions. It's the robot liver that I took from that Seeker robot.
Yeah, right.
That I turned it. So it's about this big. It is big to me, but I have a bag of holding. What is the ruling on that?
I think that as long as it's under 500 pounds and it's like, or it doesn't exceed, the weight of all the stuff in your bag of holding doesn't exceed 500 pounds, it's going to fit in there.
Yeah.
It's an extra dimensional
Bag
space.
of holding is the
Beautiful.
bag of holding.
Beautiful. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to come back down. All right, we're good.
Oh, and you're leaving the bag on the ship.
No,
Right.
it's
you're
a part of
carrying it with you.
my belt
Okay.
buckle.
Okay, good. I just wanted to
And
be
I'm
sure.
gonna, I'll hand you your phone back. The only thing I take a
Thanks.
peek at is what your lock screen looks like.
It
Sorry,
is.
I love feeding prompts. I'm really
You're gonna
sorry.
regret this. It's okay. It is what looks like commissioned re-rendering of the Casa Concordia as an anime waifu girl.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, I'm sorry I asked. Waifu Kani.
Waifu Kani.
Ganon now.
Okay, you know how I said I really want a drawing of the pig? I really don't want a drawing of this.
Instead of a bunch of tentacles, it has a bunch of monkey hands.
Oh no.
This
Can
is
we move
getting
on?
worse.
Let's move on.
Yeah, moving on.
Let's head towards customs.
Yeah, it's the customs lines you can see forming, and they sort of flow into a few doors at the base of this large dome. It's probably about 200 feet tall, so 400 feet across. A perfect half sphere.
I never really thought about what identification we would be carrying on us, or what would have been given to us when we, became residents of the raft. But I would imagine we have some sort of just, I guess, generic ID or type, thing where we can, show who we are. I would imagine we would have to have something like that to travel around.
Yeah.
Identification. You can establish that right now.
I legitimately do not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just one of those ID apps on the phone or something,
Yeah. You have been sponsored, into the ID system by the flotilla.
Yeah.
By Father Hayes. But people would have their passports from anywhere. You're just sort of, it's not really passport of the flotilla. You're just sponsored in by the flotilla as their
Is it like
kind of an entity, but not
quote
really an
unquote
entity.
independent citizens?
Yes, that's pretty much exactly
Not
it.
sovereign.
Just
That's a very big difference.
yeah.
And even if it's commonly digital, if there is a physical version, Lev has a copy of that. Just to let you know.
Yeah. Yep. So this was established. You all actually do have identities on the Galnet.
Marsh probably has many.
Henry Case, Emmanuel Goldstein, Dave Murphy, a few others. But the line is interminable. It is switchbacks for at least a quarter mile.
Oh no.
Like you are waiting probably about 2-3 hours to get through this into
Mine simulator.
customs. Yeah.
Can I be rolling investigation to see if there's a way for a, let's just say, like 1 foot tall monkey to possibly sneak past this custom?
Oh, and just leave us all. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Was that stealth? Or no, investigation?
Yeah, it's investigation to see if there
Oh,
is.
beautiful. Dirty 23.
This motherfucker's gonna be cutting in
30-23.
line and breaking rules already.
Yeah, casino security is casino security. They have everything locked down. They've got this down to a science. There is no more efficient way to get people through a line than this, and it still sucks. There's that many people coming here.
Choom is literally like biting his nails and he's like tapping his feet like,
It's not too bad.
So you're saying there's like there's
never
hundreds,
really
if not thousands
stops.
of people just like waiting to get in. Wow.
Yeah, the line never really stops. You're always kind of going at a just slightly maddeningly slow walk. Like, you're never stopped. You're never really at a full stride, but, you know, it never stops. It just meanders through. And after several hours of this, you know, we're a little fatigued, even though it's the astral sea and that sort of thing doesn't really happen. You can only be on your feet for so long at any given time. Like, we do have limits.
You can still feel like physical.
Yeah.
You know, it just maybe manifests slightly differently. It's all kind of weird out here.
Yeah. So, and you guys get to sort of a fork in things where it goes off to one of 3 different sets of, you know, scanners and security people. And you as a group are, because they can kind of notice when a group is a group, are all waved to the one on the left.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to say, if not, I was going to try to be, you know, in a certain order to try to follow Chu to make sure he doesn't, you know, say anything stupid or, you know, antagonize anybody.
They keep the group together because it's
Chum
just easier.
Chum is on
you know.
one right now, okay? So, like, I'm concerned. I am concerned.
so is Choom. Choom is also concerned.
And you get to what just looks like a little conveyor belt thing where you can put any bags or any of your searchable items. You know, please submit your bags for scanning. And just a little, you know, it looks like a door frame, actually made of wood. Really well carved, polished wood. You can see even little runes inscribed into it, and a very thin blue like film inside the door that you would have to step through.
Okay, well, I don't think any of us have disarmed, so like Percival is pulling off like belts, like, you know, like utility belts that have like all these different pouches and like a bigger pouch that's my bag of holding that I also artificed, because I mean that's one of the best items in the game. How can you not have one as someone who needs to carry a lot of things? And like, you know, my now sawn-off shotgun is something I kind of did in the last couple weeks while we were on the ship. My revolver, my boot knife. And then I kind of gesture to myself, like, with like the you know, because I have the assisted like strength like kit on, and I was like, this is a real pain to get off. To the customs officer being like, is this going to be a problem? After I just put like all of my guns and like utility belts and things like that through the scanners, like just completely mindlessly.
The security guard almost like rolls your eyes, like, come on, you gotta
Rolls
do better
my
than that.
eyes.
No, the security guard rolls their eyes at you, like, yeah, like, come on, like, you gotta do better than that. Like, but does point to a sign. all bags on the conveyor.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I would comply with the instructions, in their entirety, because that's Percival. He's really good at following written instructions.
Chum would take all of the tools and shit out of his tool belt and put that on the conveyor belt, because that's all that is visible to the eyes.
Okay. Yep. All right. So you guys pass through, your bags pass by the thing. And after you get through and you're all recombobulated, your bags given back to you, the customs officer says, one of our agents would like to speak to you. Come over this way.
Speak to who?
And I usher you as the group.
Oh, the collective you. Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the royal you.
Okay.
Fuck.
I'm gonna sigh. I'm gonna shoot, just I'm not gonna move my head. I'm not gonna turn to look at him, but I'm just gonna shoot a side glance at Chum and raise I guess whatever an eyebrow raise would look like from a GIF.
Chum's gonna just try and act. He's trying to act normal. He's trying to act.
Uh-huh.
All right. You are led to, there's kind of a hallway with doors, 6x8 glass next to a door you can look in on. Just looks like a bunch of identical conference rooms in a hallway. You're led to the third one on the right. Have a seat. Agent Dorcas will be with you shortly.
Agent Dorcas.
Dorcas. I just
Dorcas.
look at Chum. I'm like, Chum, you gotta keep that one on the inside. You gotta keep that one on the inside.
No, of course. Of course. Very respectful family name.
That's right. Chum on the inside.
He nods and sits down, his hands.
Cute. Which ones?
All four of them.
All four of them. You can think about the hellscape you've created.
You got 4 hands, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
So after about 5 minutes, a satyr walks in. He's wearing looks like casino security stuff, like a button-up shirt, tie, blazer on his top half. Obviously his bottom half is just hairy legs and goat hooves and stuff, but
Y'all know satyrs
Incredible.
don't wear pants.
and yes, and he has the badge on the front, DORCAS. Hello, my name is Officer Dorcas. I'll be here doing customs clearance. It looks like we have a Chandaloon, a flood test, brew. You in the bartending industry by any chance?
I was.
How about that?
Dorcas.
Glup, glup, glup. Liv Zingiv. Okay, very good.
Present.
Yep. He just turns to, there's a spot on the wall that looks like, a whiteboard, and it sort of lights up with a little glow, and he just starts swiping screens from right to left, and it has the entire contents of everything each of you has on you, including the things in your bags of holding.
Mhm.
Also including the who enchanted the bag of holding, when it was made,
Some serious
the
tech.
full manufacture history of all of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
He just goes by, Chum. Big spender, huh? He goes by, he saw the phlogiston on there, is like, oh, all right.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I might fart. Oh, that's a relief.
Let's keep that one on the inside too. Damn it. Chum.
Okay. So, there's one little thing kind of flagged up. Seems you're all associated with a man named Henry Case.
Henry.
Can any of you tell me about it?
Oh, I think he's the guy that manages our ship insurance. This was
Yeah.
the worst.
Just
I was the
ship
worst
insurance.
person to try to fucking lie to this guy.
Is this?
Yeah. So, first of all, make me that deception check.
That's really the only time Percival has seen that name, I'm pretty sure, more or less. Maybe I think that might have been referenced at his apartment on the Flotilla is
Yeah,
as
he was
well.
using that. He had been using that
Enrique's.
name.
But
Yeah,
like
there.
my recent memory tells me, no, wait, that's the name that is like that our ship insurance is under. So maybe I can just try to sell this.
I'm gonna pat his arm like, yeah, Screaming Fist Mutual, and I'm gonna cast Guidance. 1d4, please help us.
No, I mean, I'm okay. That's a 4.
Okay.
So the deception, after all is said and done, is a 17. Not like amazing.
It's not bad.
But it's not bad. It's not bad.
Insurance, you say? It appears on a few receipts and bills of goods for things you've purchased that definitely don't look like insurance. He got a nat 20, by the way.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, he manages a lot of stuff. Listen, he was someone who kind of helped us out when we got blasted off into space, and didn't know anything about the Astral Sea or like anyone living there. Like we ended up on the raft, and he was just someone who helped us out with a lot of stuff. I mean, he's not with us, right? Like he went off and did his own thing.
He isn't. You guys could be really glad for that. If you tried to bring him here, that wouldn't have been good. He is a known shady character.
Oh, that's
You
surprising.
should disassociate with him.
Wow,
The Gaming Commission does not want him on the Gabbiani.
Associate.
I couldn't.
But he's not here.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, from what I know of the guy, which is not very much, I might assure you, he never really came off that way. So I'm very surprised to hear that. But yeah, no, he's not. He's not here with us.
No.
And we don't know where he is. So are we free to go?
Yes. You're free to go. Come. Spend your money.
Is that like a catchphrase
Enjoy.
or something? Because the dead look in
What
your
the
eyes
Gabbiani.
really sold it for me.
Yes, starting off with cum is really aggressive too.
Oh my fucking god!
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's all right. We got our minds fingered before. It's fine. We're good. All right. I'm just gonna start marching up.
I'm a government agent. I mean, what do you expect from me?
Yeah, no, whatever, Mr. Dork. All
No,
right.
that's great. That's perfect. Yes, we're on our way. We're out of here.
Right. And several other faceless,
by the way,
mookish, yeah.
I'm so sorry. Do you know where we could? We're actually here to see someone in particular. Can you maybe point us in the direction of like a directory or like someone I could talk to about that?
Just keep going out the doors. There's the welcome center's right there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. This is like just one of the faceless,
Yeah,
mook
good. I just wanted to
agents,
make sure I was
just
like,
see
I wasn't
them.
sure if this is the person I'm supposed to ask before we like walk away from the only person who can tell us where the fuck JamJam is. But
Well, we got to go to the Cormorant.
right, yeah. Okay, we'll just go to the info center and see if they can take us there or something like that.
Yeah.
Hail a cab, I guess.
Or we can, get a
And-
car.
And you continue on through the building, and you can see as you get towards this reception area towards the end after everyone's getting out of security. The dome is clear at the front, and you can just see off into the vast expanses of the astral sea in front. Right in front of that are a couple of it's a nice long row of desks, like an airport terminal.
That makes a lot of
Just,
sense.
where everyone's going up to check in, but with the view of space right behind them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Guess,
And-
look for an open
Yeah.
like kiosk.
Yeah. Welcome. Seems all your papers are in order. Yes. So, where are you all heading?
So we're actually here to see someone named Adrienne. I'll spell it Adrian. Apparently.
What?
Yeah.
I'm going to kick Percy's foot.
What?
Just ask him where the building is.
Okay, we're looking for the Cormorant. Yes.
The Cormorant. The Cormorant is one of our casinos in the Val d'Or, our Valley of Gold. It's at the it's at the aft of the Gabbiani. The best way there would be to take the midway line. He gestures off towards his right, where there's some stairs that appear to go down
Okay.
in a wide curving staircase, maybe about 20 feet wide, and it takes the contour of the outside of that dome down into the ship. And you can see even that dome continues down into the hull,
Interesting. Okay.
where you can see if you look just over the edge of the stairs, you can see some of that dome and another platform below where there are several different, looks like trains. They're loading people up.
Do the rails just kind of go and just like way out into the ship? Like,
yeah, they all go like fore to aft right down the center.
So we're almost like in a subway, but like the subway is on the ship.
Yeah, the subway goes basically right down the center of the deck. So cool. Like you see like on that illustration I gave you, right where the deck is, it just runs right along that line, dead center, right down the ship.
And we're going to post this map in Discord as well for our listeners.
I'll have that. I'm still working on the overhead map, but the kind of side view is already ready, and the overhead map will be ready before, within a week or so. I'm making up as I go here.
Yeah, it looks dope, though.
It just sort of matches the rest of it.
Yeah, all right. You hop on the line that I forgot what she mentioned it was, but We'll just look for the signs.
Yep. There's a red, a green, and a blue. The red train goes to what is it? Valdor aft. The blue train goes to midship, and the red goes to the amusement zone.
The amusement zone. As amusing as that sounds, that's not where we're going.
Said we got to go to the aft,
Cormorant
right?
is closer to, Valdor aft.
Yes, we're going to head to the aft.
This system kind of reminds me of home, actually. They got a system over here in New Cork City. It's pretty cool. Hops on. Immediately bumps like elbows with people as he kind of gets on.
The doors must be wide enough for all sizes of people, so I'm hoping I don't have any trouble getting in there.
It's wide enough. There are enough
I'm very
trains.
triggered by door sizes right now.
This definitely does not get nearly as crammed as New Cork City. Things are efficient. They're clean. It is kind of that 80s futuristic, like what we thought the future would look like in 82, like Epcot Center kind of stuff. Very, very sleek. Cars here, mostly glass on the outside, nice kind of bubbled glass on the front. And you can see a little gnome sitting crisscross applesauce in the center of that dome in the front there, just sort of hovering in the air, wearing a train conductor's outfit with the little cap and everything. But, he's got his legs crossed and he's just sort of like yoga hovering in the air right about where the center point of that would be.
Yeah, who needs controls when you just can steer it with magic, I guess. Pretty dope.
Very dope. It's just a little clean for my taste.
Yeah. Yep. You all get on.
Could use a little clean for a change.
You all have enough personal space for yourselves and your bags. There's maybe about 3-4 other people in this car, but it's mostly you guys. A couple other assorted travelers. And shoof, off you go. After you leave that bubble, it's just shoof, 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 of various like girders and beams, and then it open into an area probably about 50 feet from top to bottom of just open machinery and tubes, like kind of crisscrossing and slanting across. You're just in the mechanics of the ship, skirting right down the middle. And there's probably about 10 seconds of that, and then into the wall, where it's just rainbow lights, red, or like it just goes the whole spectrum nice and slow as you're just blasting down the middle of it, to the reds, to the oranges, to the greens, to the blues, the purples, and back around.
RGB makes it go faster.
Yeah, it does. And it definitely makes it feel more special. And in about 30 more seconds or so after that, it's only a mile or so, a little less than a mile to the back of the ship. Not huge, just huge. And you're let off at a terminal. It's, maybe 2-3 tracks here, and it's just at the very end. So this train would just go back the other way after it's done unloading and reloading. You're on a platform probably about 50 feet wide, 100 feet to go towards the look like escalators going up at the end. There's no obvious mechanics to the escalators. They're just like a floating plank of like translucent, one after another, spaced about that foot down diagonally away, like an escalator would be, just not mechanical, just magical. moving, but moving nice and smooth, rock solid. When somebody steps on it, it doesn't even have that little bit of give or anything. It's just solid as hell. You can look straight down into the vastness below, and you can look straight up as you clear the edge of the station, and the sky opens above you into the street that you're just like up towards, kind of coming out of the subway at New York. And you are in this canyon of buildings.
The strip.
Yeah, it's the strip. It's the Valley of Gold. And these are 1,000-foot tall buildings, like on either side of the plaza. Neon signs. There is a probably 200-foot tall glowing sign, 50 feet wide, with a way larger than life looking figure on it. Rhinestones from neck to knees. He's a human, looks like he's put on a few pounds in the last few years, but really rocking it. Got a big old dark poof of hair. Spresh Bazar performing nightly at the Dio.
Sorry, who?
Spresh Bazar.
Spresh Bazar, okay.
This is where JamJam's been this whole time.
He's dashing. He's attractive. He's got a jawline that could be its own national fucking monument.
Damn.
Yeah. The kind of guy who passes his charisma check on looks alone without even opening his mouth. And
wow.
There are scantily clad people of all genders and sizes and species wearing very risque outfits for people to take pictures next to. A few people, doing shady dealings. It is busy. Not quite New York busy, but yeah, it's the strip on a good weekend busy. It's hopping. There's noise coming out of everywhere, lights and sounds, smells. There are food carts out in the middle of this way here. It's a big street, but obviously nobody's driving on it. It's all just people walking. So
Percival's stomach grumbles loudly.
Yeah, people with food carts out selling food. Lines of 3 to 5 people. There's a little. A couple of little places. Looks like there's a shawarma cart. A couple of various meats on sticks of meats that you can't even identify. Something around an orange that may or may not be a fruit. Soup. Oh man.
They got hot apple.
They got hot apple. They got cold apple. They have tepid apple.
Oh my god.
It's like the kind of sake you serve at room temperature. Just
Percival's gonna shake his
room
head.
temperature apple cider.
Get back to his senses. Wait, no. Okay, we're here to find JamJam. Okay, let's stick to the plan before we have any fun. We gotta make sure he's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and you look down and you can see you're at aft, but the Val d'Or stretches for probably another 400 feet back until the buildings kind of rise up at the end of the ship as well. And you can look the other direction and see down the canyon of buildings towards the amusement zone, another half a mile off in the distance.
I can't see shit.
Yep. From the back, looking towards the front, you have, the Dio and the BFG Grand are on your left. The Cormorant is to the aft starboard, and the Strangiato is a little forward of that.
Strangiato is really fucking good.
Cormorant. That's where we gotta go, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start heading towards the Cormorant.
Going to the Cormorant.
It's kind of again, taking in the sights, but not getting distracted.
Yeah, it's tough. Everybody make perception checks.
Oh no!
That's a nat 20.
Oh, that's a
On the
natural 19.
The dumbest thing that I could probably ever roll a nat 20.
That's all I got for perception. But yeah, natural 19.
22.
A natural
22.
4 plus 3.
So Lev is distracted. He is just sucked into the lights, he's looking up, looking around, looking everywhere but in front of him. So
unlike him.
you guys are gonna have
that, or maybe just trying to keep everyone else from wandering off. Anyone else who might have been distracted. I feel like that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah. That's really it. Is the perception is just how can you keep it together? And so Lev, you're just sucked in. You maybe bump into a person or two, kind of just get drawn off by a smell off to the side. Does anybody else have under a 15?
Oh yeah,
I rolled a 6, but then I have my -2 modifier to that. So 4.
Wonderful. Yeah. There's just so many lights and they're refracting through you, and it just even makes it hard to perceive with,
Oh, Nicole, don't hurt yourself.
I tried.
You guys are pulling in your sort of bewildered comrades as you make your way towards the cormorant. This is about a good spot here where I want to take a break, call an end to our this week's
Wait, what do our
episode.
good perception checks let us see before?
Yeah.
No, the good perception checks are you aren't distracted.
Oh, shit. This was literally just don't fail
Yeah.
so we can get through the... Great.
Yeah.
Good.
And
okay.
which
Damn!
ones...
Can tell who the
question
focused ones are.
Yeah, which ones you're having to pull back in,
Oh man.
Okay, just checking. Wow, sorry for that nat 20 there, Seb.
I get one every campaign. It's fine.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't come up with
It's
anything
okay.
better, and that's really just sort of what I wanted it to be is
It's okay.
flashing lights and sounds.
Oh gosh, JamJam, what'd you get yourself into, bud?
Yeah, the lap of luxury is what he got himself into.
Yeah, but there's strings. There's got to be strings attached to that. I don't trust for a fucking second that he's just been here living in the lap of luxury and not incurring some sort of gigantic debt or some shit. I'm not certain. And if he hasn't, then what the fuck, dude?
What the fuck,
you
dude?
don't even think about us.
Well, we can explore more of that mystery next week.
Yeah, motherfucker.
But for now, if you like us, we can be found on the internet. We're in such places as, I don't need to list it off. Links grow on trees these days. It's really cheap. So just go to our link tree, linkter.ee/hapless heroes, and that'll take you to all the places, do we have a blue sky yet?
Yeah, we do actually. I mean, I've made exactly one post on it, but it does exist.
Yeah, we have a blue sky. That way we can get away from that other site. And, a Facebook for when we want to be really boomer. I think one of us has the Facebook account still.
I mean,
but
I do,
come on.
begrudgingly.
Guys, it's the future, and we know where you want to be. You want to be in a place where you can interact with us on a daily basis, and meet and chat. Well, that's our Discord. The link is in our link tree. That's, we got a community here of like-minded people who for some reason think this show is great. And they probably think the same things that you think are great, because, that's how this overlap sort of works. So come join our community. It's growing by the day, and we really love to have you. Talk D&D, talk not D&D. Just catch up on the inside jokes that the podcast has. Now, maybe you really like us, though. How about you leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice? There's all kinds of different services out there. I mean, if you've made it to this episode of this podcast, you probably have a podcast service you like. Leave us a review there if you can. If you can't, we got a channel on our Discord. You could do that too. And maybe if you're going through the YouTubes, throw us a like and subscribe. I know.
And he can get through it too, huh?
Well, you know what?
It
sounds trite. And I mean, I am as allergic to self-promotion as the next guy, possibly even more than that. But I mean, we got to play the game. So we'll play the game. Now, if you really, really like us, though, you like our game, would you, slip us a little donation on Patreon, patreon.com/haplessheroes. This is how we keep this a ad-free and awesome show that, covers our hosting costs and our equipment costs, and I don't know. Let's put a pizza in us once upon a time, probably.
It's also
a few
helped
years
us
ago,
commission official character artwork for our characters.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Around the time that this episode is airing, we might be nearing the finish line if we haven't received it already. I know that we right now, as we speak, at the time of this recording, we have entered the final stages of finalizing all of that artwork. So we are very excited to share that with you, and we'll blast it out wherever we can. And shout out to Matthew Sargent for pulling it all together for us. It's fucking amazing. It looks incredible. You guys, this is awesome. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
So good.
It's so fucking good.
We really love it. Just like I really love our cast. And I'm going to outro them kind of the opposite way I did from the beginning. We've got Chumdaloom, played by Seb.
I think I have a thing for trains now.
Off to his left, we have Glorp Glup Glup, played by Nicole.
Ooh, shiny.
To her left, we've got Brunner Brew Blitzbor, brought to us by Mike.
Is this what they mean by capitalism?
To his left, Lev Zangief, played by Lou.
You said it, Glorp.
To his left, the glorious really returning JamJam, played by John.
Until next time.
And to his left, Percival Floodhest, played by Francesco.
Okay, we just really can't get distracted. Okay, and it's not, it's less capitalism, it's more just gambling brew. I don't really know what to categorize that as.
My name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. So good to be back behind the screen. I've got some great stories to tell. We've all got great stories to tell. We're so excited. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
I'm still gonna fuck Tank up.